Hey guys, we are the TC. In this video, you will learn how to find the area of the different four-sided polygons or what we call quadrilaterals,
such as square, rectangle, parallelogram, rhombus, and lastly, trapezoid.
Area means the inside. Cover the surface that's inside. Measure the length and measure the width, and then you multiply. Well, maybe I'll buy a new shag carpet, or maybe I'll make a quilt using squares. I'll just make sure I multiply the length by the width, find square units inside. It's the area, that's good. The area's the inside. Multiply, the area's the inside. It's good, square units on the inside.
Now let's define area. Area is a word that we hear in geometry and it's a measure of how much space is inside the shape. Now, the more precise definition of an area is that it is the number of unit squares that fit inside the shape. What's a unit square? Well, it's a square whose sides all have a length of 1. So for example, let's say we want to find the area of this shape here. Let's draw in a few light grid lines to help this out. This shape contains 6 of these unit squares, so it has an area of 6. Let's talk about units for area. We said each side length here is 1. But is it 1 centimeter, 1 meter? Depending on units you use like meters or miles. You can have unit squares with very different areas. Let's say each of this side is 1 centimeter. The area of this square is still 1, but we write it like this. You can read this as 1 square centimeter. You can also write this as this, or even like this, where SQ is an abbreviation for square.
Let's now proceed to the area of a square. Suppose you have a square with side length S. What's the area of this square? Since this is a square, it means all of its sides have the same length. So the base is S and the height is also S. And so you find that the area of this S is equals to S times S, which can also be written like this one. So you can read this as S raised to the second power, or perhaps SS squared. Let's say you have a square that's a side length of 7 meters. So that means that the length of the base and the height is 7. Using the formula S times S, substitute the value of side length 7 meters, so 7 meters times 7 meters will be 49 square meters. And using the formula of SS squared, you need to square the given side length 7 meters, and the answer is also be 49 squared meters. Now, let's come up with the formula for finding the area of rectangle. This side of rectangle has a length of 6, and this side of rectangle has a length of 3. You'll often see various names for the side of rectangle. Sometimes, you'll see base and height. Other times, you'll see length and width. For now, let's take with length and width. The area of this rectangle is 18 because we can fit 18 units square inside. Another way to calculate the area of this rectangle is to multiply the length and the width. That's 6 times 3, which gives you the same answer of 18. The area of rectangle is L times W. Let's say you have a rectangle with a length of 8 meters and a width of 5 meters. So to find the area of rectangle, the formula will be length times width. First, you need to substitute the value of the length and the width, which is 8 meters and 5 meters. Then, you need to multiply 8 times 5. The answer will be 40 square meters. Let's come up with the formula for finding the area of parallelogram. Suppose the length of its base, meaning this side of the bottom, is B. That means the side of here also has length of B. And let's say the height of this parallelogram is H. the length of this line between the top and bottom of the side is perpendicular to the both sides. Notice that the height of parallelogram is the same all the way across the parallelogram. To find its area, you multiply its base by its height. Let's try an example. Here's the state of Tennessee. Kinda looks like a parallelogram. The base is about 420 miles and the height of the state is about 100 miles. So what's the approximate area of this state? That is about how many square miles are there in Tennessee. By the use of area of parallelogram, which is b times h, you need to first substitute 420 miles as base and 100 miles as height, then multiply it. You can get an answer of 42,000 square miles. Recall that a rhombus is a quadrilateral whose sides all have the same length. So this is an example of a rhombus, and you can check all four sides have same length. Now, every rhombus is also an example of a parallelogram. To find its area, you can multiply the base and the height. Then, you'll be finding another formula for the area of rhombus, using its diagonals. So let's draw in two diagonals for this rhombus. Now, rhombus diagonals always form the same angle in their intersection. The diagonals of rhombi always intersect to form 90-degree or right angles. So let's label this A being a right angle. Next, this horizontal A and this vertical diagonal has length B. The formula will be A times B over 2. Suppose you have a kite that's shaped like a rhombus. You measure the diagonals and you find that they have lengths of 2 feet and 2 feet. So what's the area of this rhombus? You multiply 2 and 2 and then divide it by 2 to get an answer of 2 square feet. Let's come up with the formula for finding the area of a trapezoid. Remember, it's a quadrilateral where at least one pair of opposite sides are parallel. In a trapezoid, two parallel sides both known as the bases. Let's say the bottom base has length b1 while the top base has length of b2. And also say the height of this trapezoid is h. So the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times b1 plus b2 times h. And this is the general formula for the area of a trapezoid. So here's the trapezoid. And let's say its side has length of 12 cm. And this parallel side has length of 10 cm. And let's also say the vertical side between the sides is 6 cm. So what's the area of this trapezoid? By the use of 1/2 times b1 plus b2 times h, you can solve this problem. First, you need to write 1/2. Then substitute the base 1, which is 12 cm, and base 2, which is 10 cm. Then the height, which is 6 cm. You need to add first the two bases, which is 12 and 10, and the sum will be 22 cm. Then, multiply it to the height, which is 6 cm. The product will be 132 square centimeters. Lastly, multiply it by 1/2, then the final answer will be 66 square centimeters.